I thought maybe from the hills to everywhere else.
Another car, another car. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here. So today guys, I thought we would have a chat about one of the bigger talking points surrounding PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that being cross-platform gaming. Now, as some of you may know, one of the bigger announcements to have come out of the Xbox E3 press conference for 2017, besides the Xbox One X, was that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is officially on its way to the consoles, with the Xbox being the first console in line to get the game. Now, fast forward a few weeks, and the guys at Bluehole Studios have actually confirmed that they are indeed very interested in doing cross-platform play between PC and consoles, and I will assume that once the game hits the PlayStation 4, and yes, just to clarify, Battlegrounds is not going to be an Xbox exclusive, that they will also be looking at a three-way cross-platform network. That is assuming that the guys at Microsoft and Sony can work something out. Now, I will admit, on paper, the concept of having cross-platform play across all of the platforms from a social standpoint sounds really bloody cool. You know, you could have the entire community all interacting and playing against each other directly, and if you've got friends on different consoles, then that console barrier that exists today would not exist with this game, which would be fantastic. But there are some serious concerns that come from pitting PC and console players against one another in a competitive game like this. Look, I'm not one to jump to the side of the elitist PC master race when it comes to which is better over PC or console, and I know that there are some absolute machines on console that have the muscle memory with a controller that would put some of us PC guys to absolute shame. But when we speak from a more general perspective, there are some serious balance issues that begin to arise when console and PC take on each other in the same game in an FPS, which in turn raises the question, what steps need to be taken to make the experience for PC and console players fair when they are taking each other on in this game? Well, sadly with Battlegrounds, it's not going to be as black and white as an answer as some would like to think. Firstly, there is the issue of aiming and the ability to react quickly to surprise firefights. As I said before, there are some console players that are freaks with aiming and such, like stuff that would put me to shame, but overall, a mouse simply offers much more precision over that of a thumbstick on a controller, and this is me speaking from experience, trust me guys. Now, a simple response to that would be auto-aim for console players, or at least an option to enable auto-aim for those who wish to have it on, which is something the developers have said that they would consider, but as I said before, with Battlegrounds, the answers aren't quite as black and white as some would like to think. And auto-aim simply doesn't solve all of the problems that we're going to have here. Battlegrounds is a game where firefights can happen at extreme distances, and at those said distances, the difference in scoring a hit on a target and missing completely can be mere millimeters. The flow and gameplay design of Battlegrounds encourages small yet distinct movements to throw off your enemy in these long-range engagements, which is a style of gameplay that would be very difficult for console players to combat, auto-aim or not. And even with an auto-aim in play, it would be extremely difficult to create an auto-aim function that works at that range that doesn't behave like a borderline aimbot. Not to mention that in squad play, when you have multiple targets sticking together at such a range, it might be difficult for any auto-aim function to actually follow the target that you intend for it to follow. The short of all this is that the small movements that come out of these long-range engagements in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds are going to leave players on console horribly outgunned a lot of the time against PC players, making for a potentially unfair experience. Reaction times are also something that needs to be considered when it comes to talking about the PC versus console cross-platform argument. And when I say reaction times, I don't mean a player's individual ability to determine where they're being shot at from and how to react to it or anything like that. That would be really elitist of me from the PC Master Race and all that jazz. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm referring to is a player's ability to actually react to a new threat by turning their character fast enough. You see, on a PC, you can set an actual sensitivity for your mouse, this is true, but in reality, a mouse really allows for you to set your own sensitivity on the fly by simply moving it as fast as you like. With a mouse, you can pull a full 180-degree turn in a split second on a lower sensitivity if your mouse pad is large enough. On a controller, however, the thumbsticks limit you to a top speed, quote-unquote, that you can turn your character, meaning that your ability to turn fast enough is determined entirely by how high you dare to set your sensitivity. If you're getting shot in the back on console, then you can only turn as fast as you've allowed to through your sensitivity, but if you can't counteract fast enough, then the only answer is to up your sensitivity. But remember how we were mentioning the long-range firefights earlier, and how those often require minute aiming adjustments to win? Well, on a higher sensitivity, that is going to be much harder to do, leaving us in a bit of a vicious cycle here, if you will. But sadly, the issues don't stop with the aiming and combat side of the game. Another disadvantage that console players will face when coming up against PC players in Battlegrounds is the loot race, or just looting in general, if you will. The loot race at the start of a Battlegrounds game is frantic and fast-paced, and I honestly cannot imagine a single way that the developers are going to be able to make a console controller layout for looting that will be as fast as a mouse and a keyboard. I'm being brutally honest there, guys. And if you come across a dead body on PC, the most efficient way to loot them is open up the tab screen, click and drag on the things that you want on your own inventory, all the while moving around a bit to ensure that you aren't a sitting duck. And personally, as I said before, there is not a hope in hell I can see this being replicated on a console. The inventory system just doesn't allow that kind of frantic looting to be accomplished as smoothly or as quickly on a controller, which is going to put the console players at a huge disadvantage overall, especially in the early stages of the game. What you guys must remember here is that while I say all this, I am not against the idea of the game coming to consoles. I think it's great, for God's sakes. I know mates who are on consoles primarily or exclusively who have been dying to get their hands on this game, and I'm really glad that they're going to get that opportunity to do so now. But right now, I don't see there being a way to balance out this concept of console and PC cross-platform play for this game. I simply don't. And if there is one thing I hate in the gaming industry, it is the systems or the UI or the control layout of a game for PC being changed to better suit the console port. It has happened with plenty of games before, and I don't want it happening to PUBG. The current looting systems and gameplay flow that we have on the PC version of Battlegrounds is fantastic, and if there are any changes made to the PC version with the intent of making the cross-platform concept easy to accomplish, I'm going to be pretty pissed. If there are any developers out there, please, 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 for the love of God, do not compromise the gameplay for PC of this game just to incorporate this so-called cross-platform concept of yours. It's not worth it. Do not sacrifice gameplay for this niche that you're trying to create. Yes, if they could get it working and balanced, cross-platform play would be neat, but I don't want cross-platform play to be the reason they compromise the elements of the PC build of the game that already worked as intended. There is a reason why PlanetSide 2's PS4 and PC communities were kept separate, because the developers had to make too many changes to the game on PlayStation 4 to make it work properly on a controller, changes that would have infuriated the PC community. Once again, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong if they can get it working. Brilliant. But don't sacrifice gameplay for a proof of concept. And guys, on that note, that's going to wrap up today's video discussing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and the potential for cross-platform gaming and my thoughts on the whole situation. But now I direct the question to you guys. Do you think cross-platform gaming can work for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? If so, leave in the comment section down below how you think it will work. If not, do the same thing. I'd love to get a conversation going surrounding this topic in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then a backhanding of that like button would be greatly appreciated. And if you find yourself backhanding that like button and, well, say you're new to the channel, why don't you go around and backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it to keep up to date with the content in which I plan on releasing on my channel. If you guys didn't enjoy today's video, well then feel free to backhand the dislike button and let me know how I can also improve in the comment section down below. Once again guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Have a good one.